Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Monday afternoon, April 4th. We are looking at Window Traders market profile of SPY, IWM triple Qs, and very lackadaisical day, horrendous volume, but believe it or not, we still had a range of $4.65. Now the volume is on pace to possibly be the worst of the year with the after hours. Our lowest volume of the year was 64.5 million. So far we're at about 52.5 million. So unless we do 12 million overnight, could be our worst volume of the year. However, you can't complain with a $4.50 range. So wait until we get $2 ranges or a dollar range with like volume of 35-40 million in SPY. We go out with a price probe, as does triple Qs. Russell, inside day up, miserable failure. They can't even take out the IB. They stay. Not only can't they take it out, they only end 8 wide. So Russell goes out with the afternoon pullback low in H. They got nothing for their efforts for their inside day up. Triple Qs go out 7 wide, afternoon pullback low in J, which filled their single prints. They had a double distribution day up until that point. They go out with a price probe. We go out with a price probe. I only end 6 wide, ESN 7 wide, and we had multiple opportunities for a trend day up, which failed. So sometimes we do have to ask ourselves and say what didn't happen is just as important what did happen. Well, what did happen today? This is pure short covering in Qs and us. So today's action is purely from Thursday afternoon, Friday, and whoever was still short today, covering. I think the majority have done that. There might still be some, right? I said but the other day, below IL high, maybe they're still short. But the majority covered today. So now the question is, are we going to get in some new buyers? If not, all this was short covering. So it's important to me to take out today's high, right? We got into the upper distribution from Thursday and now go finish the job and take out the afternoon rally high and Thursday's high with some fresh blood. On the flip side, if we take out today's low, nothing's really changed. Now we did come back into balance on the daily, which is positive. It's a 3-day balance, Thursday, Friday, Monday. And the weekly, as horrible as it looked closing on Friday, I'll show you the weekly when we get the charts. Doesn't look as bad today. So the bull still isn't dead just yet. Had a good day, a lot of small trades. Look, the bulls were in charge from the outset, and I said that. Didn't mean you couldn't short this market. That's the difference between one-time framing up and a trend day up. If you have single prints, you really don't want to be fading new highs. But when you don't have single prints, each new high isn't getting as high, and you can short them rolling over. I took a couple longs in A period against the overnight low with the 451 calls, which worked out. Then I actually took a short in A period, the 456 put against the price probe. So 2 longs and a short in A period. Then in B, I took a long to get to the base of the price probe with the 454 calls. And then again, when we pulled back the 452 calls against yesterday's high. So a couple of long plays in B period. Then D. D made a new high. I was like, okay, we got the base of the price probe, but we still have the singles. There's no energy, no tempo. I took a 457 put. Twice I shorted that. E period. We finally got it near the singles. With the market was one time framing up. I certainly wasn't buying any highs, but each pushed down a couple of times. I bought the 453 calls when it pulled back. And then when he made a high and couldn't even get to the singles, I shorted I shorted the market with 457 puts. So I was doing both sides in some of these time frames, A and E, because it was giving you that opportunity. Nothing big. I'm talking about 5 lots, 10 lots. Now, the big play I was really looking for was G or H. So I did take calls in G, the 453, never pulled back enough. H, when it came back down again, I was looking for more. I wanted to get long between A's high. Now, again, I'm in 6 tick increments. A's high and D's low. It doesn't look that far away, but at the time, that's where my volume park was. I was waiting for like another 20 cents or so to take maybe at least a 30 lot, maybe a 50 lot of calls. Didn't get there, didn't take it. So I only made money on the 1 call play in G. J period. No tempo, shorted it. Didn't get this whole thing, but did okay on it, on the 458s. And then in K period, again, I thought we were going to fill the single prints, get into the upper distribution. I actually went with a 455 call. So I played both sides of the market today. Pretty in and out because it was giving us that opportunity. And it turned out to be a decent day. So not a bad start. Somebody mentioned in the room there are a lot of people and schools that have spring break. That's going to go on now through at least the middle of this month with Easter coming up. So even though earnings are starting and it's the beginning of the second quarter, the volume might be drying up. We'll see. Certainly did today. As far as destinations go, on the upside, today's high of 456.91, then 457.48 afternoon rally high from the 31st, 458.76, that's the daily high from then, 460.12 afternoon rally high from March 30th, 461.19 daily high, and then our weekly high, 462.07. For the downside, we have price probe, L's high, 456.36. How many times have we price probed this year on both the upside and downside? It's got to be at least 50%. Then we have the afternoon pullback low, 454.68. H is low. Today's low, 452.26. 9 wide from the first, 451.66, and then 449.14. Weekly low. So again, if we take out today's high and start getting good acceptance and new buyers, you know what? There's a chance to go for the weekly high. On the flip side, if we take out today's low and all this was short covering, then again at some point, a good chance to go for the weekly low. And then just quickly on the chart. So here's the weekly. As ugly as that looked last week, look at this. It wasn't a big range last week. Right? It was a $13 range. Well, today we did $4.50 of it already. So remains to be seen. The weekly is still clearly up. And then the daily is firmly in a 3-day balance. Right? We stopped the one-time framing down. I'm using Thursday's high as the top of the balance, Friday's low as the bottom of it. That's our 3-day balance. So anyway, hope you had a good day trading. Thanks for the likes and subscribing. And we'll recap. No, we recapped already. And we'll speak prior to the opening tomorrow.